In Australia, 46% of people are living paycheck to paycheck. Their savings wouldn't cover more than 1 month worth of expenses if they lost their job. And it gets worse. A whopping 75% of people don't have an emergency fund that would last them 6 months. The reason why we see stats like this, not only in Australia, but in many countries around the world, really comes down to the fact that most people don't have any system for saving. Saving is a simple concept. We all understand it. Spend less than you earn. But so many people struggle to save because it comes down to behaviour, and behaviour is really hard. It's like losing weight. We all know to lose weight, we need to consume less calories through our diet and burn more calories through exercising. But how many people are there in the world that are overweight? To overcome the obstacle of our own behaviour hampering our ability to save, we need to put systems in place. In this video, I'm going to show you how to systematize your ability to save so that you can reliably and consistently save a big chunk of your income for the rest of your life. The idea is that you can then put that money towards what matters to you. In breaking down the system, I'll also show you the reasons why most people struggle to save and how you can avoid these traps. This system that I'm going to show you is one that I've personally used, which has allowed me to save tens of thousands of dollars every year since I started working full-time about 7 years ago. And by the end of this video, you will have learned all the key principles that you need to place yourself in the top 10% of savers. And the good news is, it's really simple and anyone can do it. You just need to learn some new behaviors. So let's get into it. Step 1, having a why. The first step in the system is to have a reason why you want to save money. Like, what is your why? It could be because you need to pay off debt, or you might want some capital to start off a business or investing, or you might want to go on an overseas holiday, or just for peace of mind knowing that you have some financial stability and that you're prepared for a rainy day. Whatever it is, just write it down. This will keep you focused and it will help drive the right behaviors with your money. And you're far more likely to achieve things when you write them down. Don't feel like you need to set a specific dollar target within a certain period right away, because you don't really know what's possible yet. At first, all you need to do is make sure you're moving in the right direction towards your goal. Step 2, automation. You need to make saving a habit that you don't even have to think about and that you can repeat effortlessly. And the way to do this is to automate the behavior. Do this by setting up a recurring automatic bank transaction so that on the day that you're paid, a portion of that money is automatically transferred out of your account where your employer deposits your pay and into a separate savings account which you don't touch except for true emergencies. The idea is that you never see this money so that you don't have an opportunity to spend it. And then you learn to live off the leftover money from your pay. By doing this, you'll consistently and automatically save money. If you're wondering how much of your pay you should be putting into this designated savings account, there's no hard and fast rule about it, but I recommend at least 10%. And as you get better at making do with the remainder of your income, then increase it to 20%, 30%, or even 50% or more, depending on what you want to achieve. You may have heard about the 50-30-20 rule. This is a widely accepted rule, which is seen as a reasonably sensible strategy, which involves dedicating 50% of your income to essential expenses like rent, bills, and food, 30% of your income to discretionary spending on things like eating out, holidays, buying things that you want but that you don't need, and saving the remaining 20%. It just depends how committed you are to your savings goals. If you're super committed, you might look at trying to save 50% of your income by spending very little on discretionary spending by doing things for fun, which cost little or no money, like going to the beach, hiking, kicking a ball in the park, and minimizing your essential expenses as much as possible, like renting in a cheaper area, getting an extra roommate, getting a better deal on your internet and phone plans, using less electricity and less water, and things like that. Step 3, creating a budget. Now, this one is probably not going to make some people very happy, as I know lots of people hate the idea of a budget. But to be honest, there's a common misconception around budgets that they are this super strict and rigid thing which is anti-fun and stops you from doing what you want to do. But the opposite is actually the truth. The idea of budgets is to tailor them to how you would like to live, while appreciating that you also have goals to save money. It's not about spending as little as humanly possible and cutting out all things that makes your life enjoyable. It's just about using your money as efficiently as possible so that you actually have more money to spend on the things that truly matter to you and that add value to your life and help build your future. Budgets are an amazing tool for giving you oversight over your income and expenses. A good budget will break down expenses into categories and even subcategories to show you exactly where all of your hard-earned money is going. It also gives you a level of accountability for how you spend. And this can be very eye-opening, as people are often shocked to see just how much money they're spending on certain things that add little or no value to their lives. For example, you might be paying for subscriptions to streaming services that you don't use, or all your money might be going to materialistic things that you forget about soon after buying them. So you use your budget to identify and cut out wasteful expenses and spending, which can be very liberating, and it can also reduce anxiety around your finances. And that concludes my defense of budgets. If you're getting something out of this video, I'd be grateful if you could take a moment to subscribe and hit the like button. It really does help out the channel, and it gets YouTube to put my videos in front of more people who could use them as well. Step 4, increasing your income. Remember, savings equals income minus expenditure. People often entirely forget about the income side of the equation when trying to increase their savings. I'll be the first one to tell you that it's super important to be a good saver no matter what your income is, but there is the limitation that you can only save so much of your income. Beyond a certain point, it's difficult to find any other places in your budget that you can actually cut back on. By contrast, there's theoretically no limit to how much you can increase your income by. Obviously, it's not easy to just go out and massively increase your income suddenly, but you will be amazed at how much you can earn if you make a habit of building new skills and educating yourself. You can then use those skills and that knowledge to get a better paying job or trade them for money as part of a side business. And there's so many things that you can do as a side hustle these days, like flipping things on Facebook Marketplace, doing gigs on Fiverr, social media channels, online writing, creating online courses and digital products, and so on. Give it a go and try to focus on side hustles that you can actually turn into a passive income after you've done the initial grunt work. The upside can be totally asymmetrical to the amount of time and effort invested. Step 5, not caring what people think. So much of people's spending is on things that they don't need to impress people they don't like. This comes from a comparison mindset, which is largely fueled by social media and strategic marketing campaigns by companies designed to make you feel like less by not having a certain thing or living a certain way. Just remember that you have the choice to just opt out of this whole superficial culture of competing with everyone else and constantly worrying about how you compare. You can't win that game. No matter how much you have, there's always going to be someone who has more than you. But who cares? It's completely meaningless. As soon as you start caring less about what others think of you, your whole life will change. You will have so many less urges to buy things, and you'll save a lot of money because you'll only be spending it on things that truly matter to you. But when you do get that sudden urge to buy a certain thing, which we all get from time to time, try the 3-week rule. This involves waiting 3 weeks and seeing if you still have the desire to buy the thing. 95% of the time, you won't. And you probably won't even remember having the desire to buy the thing in the first place. People often recommend a 2 or 3 day rule, but I think a 3-week rule is way more effective because it just gives you that extra time for that rush of emotion to pass and for you to think more rationally and reflect on what's actually driving your desire to buy the thing. It's often because of something in popular culture or social media that's made you feel like you need it for your status or your happiness in some way. So that's my system on how you can elevate yourself to a very small group of people who can consistently save good amounts of money. I hope you've found this video useful. If you have, please give the video a like and consider subscribing to the channel. I make regular videos like this about all things personal finance, investing, and just living our best lives. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, and bye-bye.